Hello.
Yes.
We can say hello, and then we get started with everybody on board. First thing
We
first.
certainly are.
I don't want to step in my former role as a major, but maybe I should do sometimes. But it's up to Christopher to lead, and if I don't like it, I will hit his leg with my long arm or leg from the Netherlands. So everybody, let's start it. And Joe, honored to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Nice to see you. All righty then. Mr. McDonald is also back.
Chris, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So this is great. This is our third weekend and third meeting, and we're really starting to really get some traction. So that means that we have something that we're really pummeling through, that everyone's really excited about here. Again, our community is designed on a diplomatic system of a democratic system. So there's no system like this that I know about where everybody has an equal vote on where the money's being spent, how the money's going to be allocated, what's the next programs, and we're going to get to the juicy stuff that everybody really wants to know is what is the new gift that we have coming out. There is something that Mr. Finch has devised and spent roughly about this entire week. He even neglected a little bit of his cat. I'm going to tell you that much. That he neglected his treatment of his cat for you guys for this announcement on this one. And it's got me off the wall, so I'm really excited about it. Mr. Finch, will you take that one for me? What this gift is that you have devised for the veteran community?
Yeah, so thanks. So I've got a special gift for members, something as Chris was saying, I've worked on, and this is based on what we know our veteran community needs and what you guys need in order to get yourselves onto a good footing and financially stable and everything else. So I'll touch on that. The other thing we're going to talk about very briefly, touch this now, is also membership levels. We're going to talk about costs to run Hondo as well. Get into all of those. So big announcement. You want to know what's coming, and this is something all of you. Sorry, I'm just quickly trying to get my PC working at the same time. All of you are going to benefit from. Everybody that's here today is going to benefit from this. I've managed to secure a server to run websites. Basically, I can run as many websites as I want on this server, and I've got access to AI-powered ability to create websites and funnels. And I wanted to use that for the best possible use I can. And so giving it a lot of thought on what you guys will need most. In a nutshell, what we want to do is be able to do something much better than just classified ads. Chris and I have been talking about giving opportunity for you to advertise your services to other veterans, to say, yeah, I'm specialist in this sector, and I'd like to offer my services to other veterans. What we wanted to do was to go beyond just posting adverts. What we've created for you is the ability to have your own dedicated website to advertise your services. And not just a website, but funnel as well. Payment gateways, all of this is what we're going to be building for you. This is our gift for you. This is, as beta members and the people attending today, this is what you're going to get for free.
Thank you. Sounds great.
There's nothing on the market, and the reason it's really interesting is because there's no program, there's no social platform, there's no organization that produces such a thing ever. So yes, there's one aspect when you go into your profile creation, right? And we acknowledge this as well in the last couple of weeks, is that we're trying to identify how we can service you. And the next stage, when we're ready for that development, is the next growth. Is how can you service the veterans? So for example, Joe, he's an electrician, he's got a really creative mindset. In a way, how can he educate the next individuals that have nothing to do with about his geographical area, right? That won't affect his income, won't affect his personal growth and entertainment, but also give back to the veteran community without costing maybe half an hour of his time a week. Well, who knows? Whatever you can give, you can give. So
Chris?
that is still something we have identified, that again, we have a system that doesn't exist. I go to Facebook, Facebook's not offering me any services.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
saying, hey, we're giving you this. No, I have to go create this whole empire myself. We're trying to remove all that. We're trying to give you the VA claims. We're trying to give you the business coaching. We're trying to give you the whole infrastructure ready to take over, especially for new veterans, the greenhorns coming out of active duty, right? We have to think about those individuals. Yes, we've been out for 10 years. We've been out for 20 years. You know, we have been running around and taking care of people and our families, but we always have to think, what is the pain point that we had, such as Ian definitely had, and I definitely had. I've been a homeless veteran. I've been through the whole system, right? So I know hands down what exactly the pain point is.
Christopher?
Yes, send it. What you got?
Well, thank you for giving me a little interruption. Before spoiling all the news that you are going to announce, or maybe not, I think it's wise that I take my role now as a CISO and with my cyber and intel communities. And I probably think you already know, but I'd like to state, because we are being recorded now, but everybody is watching us, the big guys, you know.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say to you, for all obvious reasons, what we are doing now is a very noble thing, but it's also something that we are doing on very speedy roads, and we have to check our brakes sometimes. So it's too much for me to say all the risks to you and other thing, but I think we're on the right path. But think about what we are doing. It's being watched, it's being supported, but there are also critics and also enemies, like in every war. So I know I didn't have a proper introduction to you all, how I would look liked it in the past, but I was a little bit sick. I survived 2 times death in the last months. Ed and Christopher know, and maybe other of you know, you can read it. I'm happy to be here, but it's my duty to inform you that what we are doing is good. We have to fight and we have to be secure. So that's my message. And now I'll give it back the word to Raymond, to Christopher, I mean. But anyway, we're doing the right thing. And the proper introduction to you all, I will give you my cell phone number, secure line. We can call in the future. Just mind a little bit that I'm in Europe at the moment, and we're going to do sleepy time now in a few hours. So you are getting from lunch or whatever. So if you mind that. So thank you again for your time. And I give the word back to Chris.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Anybody got to piggyback on anything right now, or everything crystal clear?
I'll throw something in there just very quickly. The server that I've chosen is a secure server. I'm just launching it now, just to tell everybody this is what I've been working on, and it's going to take some time to get it all set up and everything else. But I've chosen a secure server that is independent because I'm mindful of all of these things. So I'm only giving a tiny snapshot of this is coming. we're gonna, whatever it takes, we're gonna set this up so that you guys will all have your own dedicated website on a safe, secure server. And of course we'll have enemies along the way, but bring them on.
Bring them on, Ed. Go.
I would like to add one little thing onto the end of what Danny was saying. And it's a quote that I got from one of the most influential mentor in my life. He said, "With all great success comes great opposition." So we just need to maintain our willpower and stay strong with it, and we can get through all of it and then change the world.
Well,
Amen to that.
if I may input as well, Chris already knows I'm all about organization, making sure that we have a solid foundation before we build our house on it. So, and it sounds like everything, we're checking all the boxes, we're making sure that we're getting everything covered before we advance, go higher up. We have some great aspirations I'm seeing, and that's awesome. I can't wait for everything to start really rolling. Let's get out there. Let's help these veterans out. I'm all for that. But we're no good if we don't do what we need to do and build it correctly. We
Yep.
got to have that foundation. We got to have the
Yep.
back end all ready
Yep.
to go to handle all that growth. So, and then
Exactly.
having that server and everything else, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to set the bar pretty high. That's for sure. And I'm excited about it, but I think we're doing the right thing. Let's not let this get ahead of us. If we have opposition, people, try to come back at us and stuff like that, we're set. We're like, hey, we got our stuff straight. We're good.
Yep.
Okay. So we're right on it. So
Yep.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank
Fantastic.
you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Fully agree.
Absolutely. Yes. So I'm just going to say to Joe, a very solid point, very, very valid points. Absolutely. Hence the beta. Christopher and I thought long and hard about this, and we said we need to launch in beta mode early, and we're only going to switch from beta to full launch when everything is absolutely solid. Everything is absolutely solid. That's going to take some work, which is why we need you guys and ladies that we've got it as well in membership, all getting involved, because we need eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah.
because it's it's
Absolutely.
a lot of work. We've got so many things planned, so many things. So yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to add anything?
No, go.
No. So, right, I'm struggling at the moment with my screen share. So I'm just basically whipping through a few things. I may not be able to screen share, unfortunately, because I'm having tech problems right now. So I do apologize for this. So just having a quick, I don't know why this is playing up. So Chris has very kindly pulled together a PDF, and I think what we'll might do is actually send it out to each of you so you can read it at leisure. But what we've done is we've pulled together the running costs of what it's going to take for where we need to get to, which is our monthly costs for Zoom integration, for the membership program, for the learnings, for the just trying to whip this down, for the apps, the server, and everything else. Total cost is coming in at under $10,000 a year, under $10,000 a year to run everything. And Chris and I were talking about this earlier. We haven't factored into that at all. The time. Chris has done so much on the programming and coding, which is, if we had to buy in that service, it would cost an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
Absolute fortune. If you had to buy in, I'm not doing this don't take me wrong, I'm not doing this as a sales pitch. If you had to buy in coaching services, a VIP day, just one day with a coach, can cost you minimum $1,500. Puts it into perspective. We're pitching these our time and work in free of charge because we believe in this and we're absolutely doing this for the right reasons.
Right.
So 10 grand to run the whole program, under 10 grand to run the whole program, everything we need is pretty darn cheap.
Yeah.
We will be able to generate that money, and I'm just giving you a very quick insight into this. We will be able to generate that money. We are going to look for sponsors. We are going to have various ways to make money. So this is just a very, very quick snapshot. And one of the ways that we are looking at, which we want to vote on, is we will always maintain free membership. The free membership is always going to be there. But one of the things that we want to ask all the members to vote on is 2 paid membership tiers as well, which will also help to bring in some additional income to cover costs. And the paid memberships are going to have additional services over and above what we're already providing.
Right.
Do you want to hit do you want to pitch anything into that, Chris, that I might have missed?
I think it's spot on. It's the operational cost. It comes out to about 10,000, and that's on a very extremely cheap side because we do most of the work. So,
Yeah.
I've been paying out of pocket the whole time, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, it's worth it, but at the same time, you know, how long can I sustain that?
Right. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the simplest way to put it is, okay, there's a few avenues of approach. So how would I generate income to feed my family from this, you might say, or how would anybody else? The thing is, Mr. Google and Apple will be paying through advertisements or banks or things like that. So it's those are the type of things that would be generating for major income sources as we grow and scale.
Right.
These are the type of things that would help us with operational costs, such as the clothing store, right? Any purchase of product would go right back into the community. So for example, Ryan, a veteran, reached out to every organization. We're the only ones that actually made an entire program for this one individual who reached out. So we can take some of the funds and say, does everyone approve that we help this veteran X, Y, and Z? You know, we have to, again, we have to sit down on another day and go over how exactly the mathematics is going to work. Do we need 69% of the votes to say yes? You know, what do we need exactly? So those as we grow and those become good problems, that'll be. So we're just trying to figure out how can we, as a community, all come together to say we're getting the most from this, we're giving back. What is the best way? So again, Mr. Finch he's been dealing with non-for-profit organizations for the past 20 years. He's highly intuitive with that. So he knows exactly how we can go about getting more grant funding or whatever it may be, with the control still lying within the veteran community. So if we want to shoot, do we have any questions on that before we shoot over to the PowerPoint presentation?
Well, if I may throw something in, I talked to Chris about this before. One organization I definitely look up to is the Gary Sinise Foundation, which is Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. He does phenomenal for the veterans. Okay. And I'm thinking once we get to a point, association with respectable other veteran organizations may help us get to that next plateau, to get us that visibility that we need to get more veterans into our funnel, into our organization that we got going. That's just, I'm thinking, you know, a little farther ahead on that. So, and it might help with funding as well.
Yes. We're on definitely all on the same page there. Yes. We've definitely all been thinking that. Yes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Right. And if we do the cost analysis to the amount that veterans get back, you're talking about, you know, a custom-made education system potentially by how many U.S. veterans alone? 18.5 million. If we get a percentage of that trying to kick in and help a veteran get his business off the ground or his life in order or whatever it may be,
right?
There is a cost effective that not even universities at Harvard can touch. It's impossible. It's physically impossible. So we're going to have the greatest organization when it comes to that, because again, veterans drop what's going on.
I do have a small question.
Yep, go for it.
So what you were just saying is you're actually talking about putting money forward to helping veterans get their business off the ground. My only thought is if are we actually going to be doing that, or do we want to actually just coach them in how to get it off on their own? Because otherwise we're starting to get under the grounds of being a bank.
It's the coaching side. It's the coaching. We're going to be the money we're going to be generating and donations and money raised from the shop is to support veterans in dire needs. That's our current thinking. There may come a point in the future where, as a community, you vote to help somebody out with other costs, but that's off in the future and for everybody to decide of it. But no, at this stage, we're looking at coaching people for mental and physical welfare and for building business or going into employment, getting job search and interview skills, all of these, a whole raft of different coaching. So that's where we're looking at the moment is coaching side, not actually funding people starting their own business, because that's something that could be in the future, but it's not something we've currently got.
You see me, Chris?
Gotcha.
Yes, Danny.
Hi, I was raising the hand, so thank
Yes.
you. For my own health,
Yes.
until what time do you have the batteries on? And don't making jokes anymore, but I need my medicine at local time here, or your time, at least in the US or Ecuador, it's like 4 p.m. And I feel getting a bit weak. So I want to keep it productive, but also respectful.
Yep.
I don't know for now when, but he's back again. Hi, Chris. Yeah. So
if you need to drop out, so what we've done,
I don't want to drop out because I think it's very interesting, but I already read everything. But yeah, my first time here in the group with you at least, and I just want to be productive and not.
So we record all these meetings. Everything's going to be sent out to the attendees. If you need to, particularly for health reasons, need to drop out at any point. So we like to keep our meetings informal. So yeah, if you feel like you need to drop out.
No, not right now, but I think within, look at my watch here. I think within 35 minutes, I'm zoning out. I'm going to do my thing.
Yes, I'll be probably zoning out by the next half hour. No, I'll try and keep going.
If I may ask for Christopher, as he is in the lead of this meeting, Chris, is there a possibility, because I hear Ed saying it's informal, but it's also not informal, as everybody knows. Can we do some more introductions on the staff and everybody, welcome word on what we're doing, and then go on before we go to figures, because they're interesting, but for me it's my time to give a contribution that's good for first time appearance at your platform. Copy?
Yep.
Yeah, if you could beat me in rock, paper, scissors, you got it.
You have to fly to Holland.
All right, yeah, of course. So absolutely. If you want to do that, we can go for that. It's it's just we have a lot of information to.
I know.
It's kind of like military. We're gonna throw so much information down your throat in less than an hour is the kind of goal here.
People need a lot of sugar and caffeine, I think.
Opinion on everything. Yeah. So if you want to go about introducing, we can go that.
I love it, because the next time we can go in depth, but I really have the urge and the feeling and my heart to say something more to you all, lovely people. And the figures are also important, but I think the persons behind this, Ian, Joe, Ed, Chris, Buddy, it's important. We are here now.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, thank you again. Well, I'm born in 75. And I didn't wrote this on a paper or whiteboard at the moment. I'm not reading it from somewhere, but I was born in 1975 in the Netherlands. And well, I had some battles in my youth. And when I went on my career path, I traveled around the world. Let's say it like that. And I saw some very good things, but also, like you all, some bad things and shitty things. But I thought, hey, I want to make a difference. And I did. Now I'm 48 years old. Still alive. That's also a miracle, some people say. And well, we're doing a good thing. And so thank you again that you are here. Well, I think as Joe, as I recollect, hopefully fine, is that everything falls and stands with a good basis of what we are going on, and we only have one chance to go for the top. No way back. And there's Alderon. Good evening, sir.
Evening, afternoon, whatever the hell it is.
Whatever you want.
There he is.
Or should I stop, Chris? I don't know.
No, I think it's great. Keep going with the introductions real quick. I mean, we got the small body now, and as we grow, and as the rank structure starts taking hold, we won't be able to give the meet and greet. So let's do it. If you feel like you want to do that, hey,
I love to do it. And if somebody wants to clarify about my role, and then I will stop my monologue. You can call me directly if you have spare time, and I have spare time. Okay. Thank you, buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. Get my
Brilliant.
light straightened out here. I'm Joe. I live in Kansas. 14-year Army veteran, tank mechanic. Operation Enduring Freedom, 2 deployments back to back. Went to Kosovo, did Germany, Korea. Never. Most of my tour service was tough. Had a few good times, and I got to go to Greece for 3 days, follow the steps of Apostle Paul, which was cool. But my dad was military, submarine, 8 years. Never knew he could hold his breath that long. But it's I've been. He was big on volunteering, and I follow suit.
Dad, I figured I'd join this meeting.
So, but I'm happy to be here. My company's Veteran Lighting. Started that back up in May, starting to take off this year. I give 10% of my proceeds to the Honor Flight here in Kansas City. And then I donate custom-made lamps to any veteran organization that's local here for their fundraisers or whatever. So, I'm just all about giving back.
Awesome.
Can't wait to do more here and, give back even to more veterans. So thanks for letting me be here.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Who's next?
Ian, would you like to kick off?
Yeah, I guess I'll go. So I'm a Marine Corps veteran, born in 1987, served in 2006 to 2010. And as I stated earlier, my first duty station was in Japan. I went onto the unlucky form for Marines where I got stuck on the ship for 2 deployments, non-combat deployments, but they were kind of more insane than my combat deployment. I did end up in Afghanistan, the Helmand province with 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines.
I know.
And like anybody else, we saw stuff that was probably not so fun for the kids at home. And then so I got out now. I've spent 15 years in the culinary field. Then my disability caught up to me, and I went to not being able to stand for 4 hours a day. Several years later, after getting through all the depression crap that comes with your dream kind of getting shut down, I learned how to start getting into business. And I just started a new one about a month ago where I pass legal coverage to everybody for very low costs.
Respect.
Ooh, real quick, I want to piggyback on that. And that is something else I want you guys to know is that what Mr. Ian does is he works with Legal Shield. I don't know if anybody heard of Legal Shields here.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so what he's trying to right now, try to make everybody happy and try to get everybody covered in Hundo Club. And that's a big number you're dealing with. So
Yes.
we're looking, me and Ed are also, we got to vote on this in the community and say, does everyone agree that this is the best organization for?
Yes, affirmative.
Yeah, I'm good with
Right.
that.
Good.
So Ian does that specifically. He works with Legal Shield. He works with a partner. And these are the type of things that it brings it in wealth, not just to me personally. Also, I'm going to get it because I need a will just in case, I die from one of my disabilities, for example. Like I have a neurological disorder with motor deficit. If I start twitching if I get too stressed out, right? So I can actually die from seizures. So let's say that happens. Okay, now I know my will's going to wherever it's already done for me. So I think it's a very beneficial thing and it's very cost effective. So good piggyback on that. Thank you, Ian.
Yep. The only sad thing I have to say about Legal Shield and ID Shield right now is that it only covers Canada and the US. They have not expanded beyond those borders.
I know. I have my own coverage. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, I figured you're good, Danny.
We're working on it.
I'm safe for now. Alderon's too, I think. I hope.
I'm here.
I see it.
Excellent.
Send it. We got 3 sergeants here today. So we got Michael as well. So Mike, if you want to send your stuff.
Oh, well, pretty much, let's see here, Air Force vet, Desert Storm, grew up Navy brat, got back from United Arab Emirates, really kind of messed up from all the burning oil fields and whatnot.
Yeah.
PTSD, of course, degenerative joint disease, and COPD, and just a whole gambit of a whole bunch of other things that, I deal with on a regular basis. 10 years ago, my girlfriend and I ended up buying a small store in Limestone, Michigan, because her home-based bakery was growing out of control. So we got a convenience store, started with the bakery. I had to abandon the bakery because we didn't have enough people. And we got into doing pizzas and pasties and sandwiches. Everything homemade from scratch. We still have.
You did it, bro. You did it.
As I told you, I'm a teenage Ninja Turtle. I would be there every day if I lived there. I'm literally like
coming your way. I'll run sooner as you think.
What's that?
I'm coming to you soon. I hope.
Yeah, we also have an authentic Chicago deep dish that we make.
I'm there.
I just got to get down and fix that oven again.
Alrighty.
All right, so like for example, I think it'd be fantastic if I could taste this pizza and we can all take a taste bud, and then this is just a crazy example, right, of how to improve this business by using the collective mindset, the hive mindset, right? To say how can we increase this business? Oh, let's make frozen products out of it. Let's get it in supermarkets. Let's figure out a system on how to generate his income. For Ian, right? Let's look at his business, right? It's lighting as well. So, okay, how do we get him to corporations and doing Walmarts and things like that, and big custom jobs or Starbucks? And how do we start growing from the mom and pop shop to making him big money that he can help out his family? So that's kind of another aspect that Hondo's about. Or there's so much that we can be doing to each other. And this is I think everyone here I'm helping with VA claims except for Mr. Finch. He's the only non-pet.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say,
breathe, oxygen, breathe.
And Danny, I'm sorry, I don't got you either. But you know what I mean? So this is the process. This is the process.
This is
Chris,
the way.
Chris, should we cover everybody else's introductions so we get through everybody? Who's just conscious of time. Catch a few more people. Yeah. Who hasn't been yet? Yeah.
You haven't.
Me. Okay. Right. So I'm Ed Finch. I'm Vice President of Hondo. What I say up front is I'm not a veteran. I've never had the opportunity to serve, and I'll say that up front. But I'm 100% behind everything that Hondo does. As soon as I met Chris and he came to me for coaching advice on a couple of occasions, came back to me and said wanted to work with me as a client, I said, I'm on board. I love what you're doing. I want to support this wholeheartedly, and pouring my heart into this. This is going to be, I'm going to be moving out of. Take this off now. I'm going to be moving out of my own private coaching into just working with Hondo. That is how committed I am to doing this. And yeah,
I think when I speak of all of us, it's an honor to have you on board. And a veteran doesn't have to be enlisted. You're also a veteran because you serve us and we serve you. So welcome aboard, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That means the world to me. That means the world. It
well
is.
Deserved.
I've spent a good many years. I've lost count of how many years I've spent in the voluntary sector. So I'm very, very familiar with. I've run my own social enterprises. I give you a long list, but just to put it into context, next month I have the big birthday. I hit 60.
Hooray!
Yeah, finally hit 60. So I've done a lot in my life. I've done a lot, but basically this is this is my passion, is giving back to people. And my big passion is people who are on the margins, people who have society as I feel is neglected. I've helped a lot of people who have been basically on the unemployment scrap heap, and I've got them into work. I've employed them myself, and I've got them into employment long after they've left me. And that's what I love doing. I love changing lives. I've been in coaching since the 1990s, beginning of the 1990s. It's been at it a long time. So basically, Chris and I gel so well on this, and we gel our skills. This Hondo as it is now is because we've poured our heart and soul into creating something that is value first. We've focused on what do veterans need, and the primary thing we came up with was you all need a new mission. You need a new mission in life, and you are given respect because you have served your country. But that respect can be at a far higher level because you all have greater capabilities than society is currently able to offer for you. So we're gonna make sure you get the benefits you're entitled to. We're going to make sure you get the support you're entitled to. We're going to make sure that you get everything that you need to lead the best life you can, and put back into, first and foremost, the veteran community, and secondly, into society. We're creating a new world. Our big vision is a new world where veterans have far higher status, the higher status that they deserve for everything they've given to society. We've included many, many, many things. This is why we talk endlessly. Many, including a wall of honor for those who serve, those that donate, for everything that's going back into society. So this is we could talk for hours about what we're doing, but that's basically my background. If anybody's got any questions at any time, I will give out my contact details. I'm more than happy to contact me. One of the things I do want to say, and I put this into the groups that we created, Christopher and I agree, Hondo is non-political, and it's also Chatham House rules. So anything can be said inside Hondo, and it stays inside Hondo, and it's confidential. Nothing is
not at this moment. We are on the air. I'm sorry.
Right now, this is different. This is
not
obviously different. This isn't the social platform itself.
No, I'm just saying, just keeping you awake.
Yeah. But
yeah, we can't get too comfy.
Yeah,
we can't, Ian.
We want everybody to be able to talk and share what you need to share within Hondo, and get the support that you need. This is why we're constantly innovating, and we want as much feedback as possible. And we've built democracy into this because we want everybody to feel that they're valued, and everybody's input is important. And yeah, there'll be times when people disagree, but that's normal. But consensus, that's why we have voting systems. We've built a huge amount into this, and this is only the beginning. So yeah, that's basically my background. To give you an idea, I started off my career in horticulture. I moved into landscape architecture, which is the same level as architects. I have a master's degree in landscape architecture. I've run my own businesses for the last probably 30 years. And although I retired from it about 20 years ago, I spent over 20 years in the martial arts as well. I was trained by an 8th Dan master. So I've spent well over 20 years in the martial arts. So a lot of familiarity with that, and a lot of huge respect for what all of you have done. And this is why we're doing it. So yeah, basically that's me.
So I want to, if I can piggyback, Mr. Finch.
Yeah.
All right. So I got one thing that I really envision, and as you can see, our structure is a military / resembling the American structure, correct? So we have the president, we have the vice president. One thing I want to say that I want to give, eventually is to say, I want to be able to relinquish control and the community can vote the next president.
Yeah.
You know, that is huge that no organization has. Why? You say, okay, why would you want to relinquish control of an organization you created yourself?
Right.
Okay. There is a very, very important aspect it's called innovation expands through community needs, and some people become stagnant no matter how creative they are and no matter how they vision the community. I want it to be that and then this is to last for generations. And how is the system? We're going to reflect the system that's currently working. Our democratic system created 240 years ago, right? We're gonna create those aspects of what's working in society. And how are we going to maintain this program is going to last forever? We're going to make sure that it's appointed by the constituents of everyone here voting. Okay, let's say everyone here wants Joe to be the next president. Boom, it's voted upon. Bam, that's the direction we're going. You know, because they feel that he has a good vision for Hundo. I mean, this is something that I ultimately want to get to, is that aspect that it's really controlled by the veteran community. So I hope that tells you exactly where my heart is with this huge project that I've invented.
That's awesome. That's a great way.
I'll echo
Right.
that. I mean, I've said to Christopher early on, basically my long-term goal is to brain dump everything I've learnt and to coach the next generations. We see this as an intergenerational thing. Hondo will be going long after we've passed on into the next world, whatever that is, or whatever your beliefs are.
Right.
Pass on, and we're creating this to be a long-term legacy. So we're not the leaders of this. We're just the ones who are starting the ball rolling. Our whole community is going to run this, and this is
We are humbled.
we've got this rank system because we need people taking on roles, and we want them to. We want people who have got the capacity to take on roles, and it's
Clarity, yes.
also grow. If it was just a small group of people, we could never reach anything scratching the 18.5 million veterans in the US. But as a community of veterans supporting veterans with layers upon layers of people taking on responsibilities and spreading the load, we can grow exponentially. We've thought about the many things we put in here. So yeah,
The scaling, yes, to piggyback real quick, the scaling is 100%. And that brings me into one big problem that we currently have is right now, the entire financial burden is on this guy. And if we can actually discuss a way that you guys think that we can get reactions to anybody, a mommy, daddy, pops, active duty, or anybody would actually say, yes, this is a worthy organization to throw $1 a day or $1 every month. It doesn't matter. Okay. What do you guys think is a solution to that problem? So then we can also start developing and growing into that faster aspect. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, Chris, I think it's not that difficult. First, we say in English, they say in England, they say it, I think also in the US, proof of the pudding.
yes.
Yeah.
Give good examples we are doing currently, like the guy I'm talking with in Pennsylvania. Give him help, make a few one-liners, post it on the platform, kaboom.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Security, like your CSO says, with the S of simple.
Yeah.
Direct, simple, go.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
Right, so it's the same concept of spreading that workload and that educational load with the military structure. It's the same thing. How can we,
Yeah.
what do you guys have in mindset to say, how can we spread the financial load? Because it's difficult for a guy who's living on a disability check.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know several veteran organizations, and including my business, that would probably look at donating monthly to this organization, because it's something that supports veterans. Matter of fact, probably my local VFW that I'm a member with. They've got money and they're always willing to donate money each month, because otherwise they're just sitting on it and it's not doing any good. I mean, it might be $50 a month, but
It's a start.
that's $50.
50 a
Right.
month is easy.
Yeah.
Copy that.
So I mean, but I've also starting to build a network of their organizations here in Kansas that I'm starting to build associations with my business, and it's like, look, this is, I'm gonna get the word out about Hundo, with them, and start getting more veterans aware of this. And it's like, look, you know what, come on in, see what you think, and then, as you said, buck a day or whatever, come out, help us out. We're growing. Come on in, see what we got and stuff like that. I can market down here. That's no problem. And then plus, I'll start throwing in my budget too. Every quarter, I'll throw money in from now on. I do
I
it for
follow
the
you too.
Flight, I'll
I
do it for
the
here.
same, Joe, in euros.
Thank you.
In euros? Yeah, okay. I'll try to get the conversion there, Danny. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
I
No
appreciate
problem.
the insight. I appreciate the insight because I'm like that. Hey, like I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer because
The answer is in front of you. We together at the start.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Joe.
Christopher and I have
No problem.
discussed this, and what we were saying is we didn't want to go out particularly to going for grants and things like that, because they all come with conditions. And equally, we didn't want to put the onus on members. We want any paid membership for members to be very low priced and very high in value. We want to try and we've built in ways. So, for example, at a later point, there will be advertising, which won't affect you guys, but it generates income towards the costs. So we've thought a lot about how we can get revenue generated, keep our costs as low as possible, generate revenue, and keep the onus off veterans so that you're not taking any of the burden, you get it maximum value.
Well,
it's all about what you guys and ladies get.
Right.
Here's a question. So
Yeah.
we are kind of starting to do outreach, but I'm wondering, like, do we want to limit that? Because if you guys get the paid membership, once you guys actually start, like, once we grow, like even 200 people and a paid membership, that'll take a huge chunk out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're
So,
right about that.
And I mean, as you said, there's what, 18 million veterans in the US alone.
Yeah.
So
Right. We have a big target market. There's a lot of NATO brothers out there and sisters who call. Literally, I'm getting a quote from a guy from Australia and Austria today to link up to the meetings. Again, it's a little bit later there. It's like 10 o'clock at night, almost nine o'clock over there with them. So again, we set it up because Mr. Finch is 9 o'clock. Danny's 9 o'clock. But again, the market right now that we're targeting is first the United States veterans, because that's the one I can generate and help generate all the veterans with their pension. That's the foundation that's the
Hey,
foundation.
Chris.
so back to my question.
To go to
How much?
real quick. So we set it up the schedule this way to ensure that everyone can go to church or do their family thing during the day.
Yeah. So back to my question is, if we're doing a little bit of outreach right now, where do we want to put it at?
We're going to talk to you about that.
That's what this is for. This is exactly what these things are for. This is what the community meetings are for. These kind of tough questions that we two people don't have the answer to, but the collective mind will,
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the answer is it goes hand in hand. And personally, I think we need to accelerate growth. We need to expand and reach outward. But at the same time, so for example, I'm able to make it as cheap as humanly possible to be able to make this work, because I can do most of the coding myself. But to increase the speed and efficiency, I have to hire outside sources eventually, right? So that, again, we're gonna have to pass those kind of things on. But at this time, it's not necessary. This is the source of the beta, right? We're worried about the growth of it. I'm worried about how do we focus on the individual behind the screen right now, right? Because the growth will come because of that approach, right? If I'm worried about how can I help Ian? We have a meeting after this, I think, Ian, right?
Yep.
Okay, boom. I have a meeting with Joe, I think, in a day. So these are the things, how can I do this? On Tuesday, I know I have a meeting with Joe. We're gonna go through how to make sure his website is fully designed and everything, So
Chris,
these are
Joe, hook me up. I want to join that if I can.
Okay.
and to answer your question, that $50 is a huge amount of money just when it's spread out, right? If it costs
Right.
10,000, if it costs 2,000 a month, right, for the rent of the mortgage, I talked to you about that, and you have your 5 kids all chipping in $500. Suddenly you're like, I can go on vacation. I don't have to stress,
Right.
right? So it's the same concept. It's spreading that
It will
load,
be
spreading
fine,
that
Chris.
load.
It will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, spreading that load.
And to answer
Work.
the unasked question so far, if we get to the point where we're generating
Yeah.
more than the actual costs, that's the point at which we have safety nets and we have a pot of money that we collectively, community can say, okay, you've got surplus, this is how we will vote on spending surplus. So that's where we would love to get to, and it changes the whole dynamics. But it's a growth curve. We're going to go through.
I got one question. Any other organizations do that for veterans? That have a voting system through the whole structure. I haven't heard of it. Where let's say I go to DAV, Disabled American Veterans, right? I don't know if I can vote where the money goes.
No.
Does anybody
Chris,
hear any? I'm not knocking any organization.
Actually,
I'm not knocking any organization. I'm trying to figure out what makes us different and unique, and how do we continue that path, right? That's the kind of thing. It's nothing about knocking an organization. At the end of the day, me and Dav, for example, veteran foreign wars we're gonna be brothers in arms. Everybody here is gonna be brother in arms in the same concept because we are.
Copy
We're all
that.
solve the same problem. We're just doing it a different way.
yeah, and there is voting for different aspects for DAV, VFW, and also American Legion. Probably a lot of the other vet organizations where you've got your in-house for your certain posts. I know right now I'm one of the people being considered for quartermaster of my post here in Chatham. Our commander's actually looking to pass the torch because, well, he's older, so we're going to be going through a vote for a new commander for the post. And you've got that for the state level, and you also have that for the national level. Those, I don't know how that's broken down, but there is a command structure through democratic voting on all of that for them.
That's right. I used to be
you're
a
right.
VFW post commander, so I totally forgot about it. It's been years since I've done that. So, but yeah, that's right.
My personal big issue with the VFW and the Legion is that in order to even go in, so like I went to the VFW, they wanted to charge me $200 a month to be a member, and I'm like, bro, I'm a homeless veteran fighting to stay off the streets right now. You're gonna charge me to go into VFW when I'm a VFW? So that was my issue where I ran into with the American Legion and the VFW, and I never went back.
Yeah.
You've touched interestingly on an interesting point that Christopher and I were talking about earlier on today. we were putting together our vision and trying to explain where Hondo's going. We didn't write this bit in, but we said we should record it. What we want to get to is the point in time where homelessness for veterans is a thing of the past, where it doesn't exist again, and it stops.
Yeah.
If we achieve everything we want this whole Hondo needs to do, that will happen. There'll come a point that happens, and it transforms everything.
100%.
Yep.
It even goes into, we have a special community that's going to be designed, created, and lived in by individuals that are veterans. So this is not just a very small project. This is something that's right. So let's say in Kansas, we're gonna put all those veterans. There's so many programs that we have ready for, and we can't get it all done in one day.
Well, if you get a chance, look at the community project here in Kansas City. It's ran by veterans, for homeless veterans. It's called the Community Project.
Yeah, brilliant. We're going to look at things like that.
Go ahead, Dan.
But I need to get my meds in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, wherever you are at this moment. Thank you again. I'd love to get to learn more about you. You can see I'm speaking a little slowly now because I don't feel that well. My heartbeat is going up, but I'm not going to die. Don't worry. And
Good.
I'm going to have a beer like Alderon or something I saw in my dream.
Yeah,
To me,
I've
but
already started.
yeah, I can't have alcohol. But hey, anyway, guys, I think we're doing a very fantastic thing. God will lead us. We will never leave somebody behind.
Yeah.
And we'll go all
Amen.
the way.
Amen.
I'd love to, Christopher, please give my number, contacts to Alderon and Ian if they and Joe, if they don't have it already. And they can send me a WhatsApp message to my private phone, then I can put them in my telephone list, and well, you never know what happens. And to go out with a one-liner, and Christopher will elaborate when I'm gone on the beds. I'm going high, sky high with the morphine or something else. Hey, here it comes. I studied this afternoon, so this is fresh from the press. They say in the Dutch, this is the way.
Yes.
The way, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank
Love you,
Star
bros.
Wars.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank
ciao.
you. Cheers.
All right, we got to knock this out because we're running again past that hour. Are you able to pull up this chart? This
Having technical difficulties, so what I'm going to suggest is that we send it out to all the members. We just we'll talk through it, and then we're going to have to send it out so everybody can have a good read at it at their leisure. Probably the best way.
it says host disabled participant screen sharing. You could do it that way.
Well,
If you guys have time, or you guys want to go into the next
I'm on
meeting
my-
next week.
I'm on my
Man,
note.
I'm starting to push hard because we're getting ready to hit a major pizza rush here pretty quick. I'm surprised I didn't have any interruptions.
Yeah, I was about to say it's almost dinner time for you. And like I said, I was a chef for 15 years. I know exactly what what's about to happen. It's a Sunday or is it Sunday or is it Saturday?
It's Sunday. We had the outhouse races yesterday.
I've been working, 16-hour days, so I kind of don't know what day it is anymore.
So
Been there, done that.
as we discussed last week, just if anybody's interested in showing up to these meetings to keep bringing in insight, only individuals that's going to really put themselves and their time and commitment to race right now, and because our time is limited. Our time is limited until we can fully invest our time into every single veteran on a larger scale when the time comes. So if you guys have somebody and say, hey, join along on these meetings, whatever you guys are thinking, we can make it real. That's the difference. You can think it, we can make it.
Yeah.
Works for me. I'm there.
Fantastic.
All right, Roger that.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, 4 o'clock. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Sayonara.
Nice
All
meeting
that
you
other fun
guys.
stuff.
See you later. See you later.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
catch you on the flip side.
Will
See
do.
you guys. Have a good one.
All
Have
the
a
best.
good one.
Cheers. Yeah. Here we go. Where's it gone? Got it.